The disembodied voice said go, but I was thinking about the game Go, where it takes so long you have to go to the bathroom afterwards, or it's somewhere in the middle. Anyways, I have a sudden announcement which has been pre-planned for all Facebook chumps and jumperoonies of the information superhighway bypass surgery. Whatever. It's come to Karen's attention that people seem to be confusing pity with empathy, or maybe it's empathy with pity. I don't know. English is tough. Like they don't own a dictionary or have access to the world's information from their brain replacement devices. And I totally understand. It's hard to remember the meaning of words when the grammar authorities are busy arguing about whether or not a comma ought to be from Oxford or not. Preferably Bermuda, because it's more tropical, and tropical commas are more common. And life is simpler when you not only think outside the box, but you have your own personal box that does your thinking for you. Luckily, I have a solution, which is why Karen came to me, and I have a pun, which is why Karen is now sulking in her bed. Mr. T teaches us through the television that he pities the fool. He said, and I quoteth, I pity the fool. He did not say, and I do not quoteth, I really empathize with the fool. Not only is it not as catchy, but it's accurate, because you pity a fool, but you don't empathize with a fool, because fools are to be pitied, not empathized with. Pity encourages this kind of like mountaintop sage mentality of like superiority. We pity the fool because they're doing something which is just so clearly stupid and unreasonable, and we have the solution for what they need to do instead, such as someone putting ketchup on their brat, like my dad does, who will remain anonymous, or being a member of the grammar police because they like to feel superior because they like to follow arbitrary guidelines of grammar and stuff. Empathy, however, is different. Empathy is a connection that we forge between people like the most holy of swords from your favorite fantasy series. It is identifying with a person and what they're going through. Through empathy, we can lead the grammatical authorities to the understanding that the only rule of good grammar is effectively communicating your thought or idea. Unfortunately, there is no empathy to be found for someone who puts ketchup on their brat. So feel free to continue pitying such a fool. And if anyone disagrees, I agree with you. And so I don't need to be pitied because I have a mental illness. It's true that having a mental illness is oftentimes like a shipping container full of awful waffles, but chances are I'm better at being crazy than you are. And chances are that anyone with a mental illness is better at being crazy than somebody without a mental illness. And you don't make friends with pity. Because when you pity a fool, they're a fool. Why would you be friends with a fool? And I'm not a fool for having a mental illness, but there are numerous other reasons that I'm a fool. Such as perhaps maybe one time I ate a brat with ketchup on it because I didn't know any better, because my dad, who will remain anonymous, taught me so. I've been successfully deprogrammed, though, Karen assures me. But if you're going to empathize with me, if you're going to try to connect and understand what I'm going through, if you're going to trust me that, like, I know what I'm doing because I've been crazy for a while and it's all good, I like that. We can be friends. That builds friendships, and Mr. T doesn't even have to be involved. Because we don't befriend the fools we pity. Mr. T never did that, and we shouldn't either, because Mr. T has a great haircut and a band full of gold on his chest, which is super freaking hairy. And I think I wrote some more stuff, but it's not on this page. Karen probably ate it, and so the dog ate my homework. And if a dog eats your homework, it's probably going to throw it back up, but it's not going to be in the best, type, like, you're not going to want to hand it in. Maybe if you do with, like, an apple, but, like, not a red delicious apple, because they are red but not delicious. You try one of those, like, golden sundae, like, chocolate covered whipped cream, some, like, sprinkled nuts on it. It's if you stop recording right now, I'm gonna get a sundae. That's good. Yeah.